Hi there, I'm Dr. Kathy, and I am the channel for Amma, the Divine Mother, and I do lots of interesting things. At least I think they're interesting. I work in the whole field of mind-body psychology, and I used to be a therapist for 35 plus years, and now I'm not a therapist because my license didn't transfer to Arizona, and I didn't keep it up in Texas. So I'm a life coach, and I do balancing with people with energy-based healing. And I discovered, actually it's rediscovered, because I had discovered essential oils a number of years ago when I was involved with Healing Touch. And now I have rediscovered them and I'm starting to use them, and I'm having fun with them. And so I started asking Amma about it. When I got involved with essential oils, I wasn't channeling Amma at the time. So now I have asked her if she will talk about essential oils specifically. Last time we met, she talked about alternative healing in general. And now I asked her, will you please focus on essential oils? So I don't know if everyone in here is familiar with the heart source, but I just say heart source. It helps align your energy. Those of you who are familiar with it will go right in and will help you smooth along. It's a way of being in your heart. And if you would just see yourself, imagine a beam of energy going from your heart to my heart, that would be really helpful. Oh, I love that. I think I would just ask you to do that and make up everything else because it feels so good. And now I'm going to be bringing in Amma. Well, hello, my dear ones. Isn't this a fun gathering to talk about this thing called what you call essential oils? You know, what's really kind of interesting is that there have been essential oils for thousands of years. Actually, there have been essential oils for tens of thousands of years, because your history does not include all of the history which is upon this planet. Essential oils have been one of those amazing fluids. It's the lifeblood of the plant, and it contains the vibration of the plant. Now, this one has asked me to speak about essential oils, so I'm going to talk about a few things that I think would be beneficial and that you may already know consciously, or you may know on a intuitive level, and then what I tell you is you're going to go, oh, I knew that. So I mentioned that essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. So you have your own blood. There are those here who donate blood or who have donated blood in the past. I know this one has donated blood in the past. And when you donate blood, you are donating your essence of the blood, and you are also donating your vibration that is within the blood, your life force. And when you receive blood from someone, you are also receiving their vibration and their life force. Now, those of you who are familiar with energy, and I think all of you on this call are, you can imagine that if you received blood from someone of a low vibration, if you're energetically sensitive, even though the blood will be saving your life, but that vibration has a strange feeling for you. It may even depress your feelings a little bit. So the vibration of an individual in giving their life force to you through their blood has an effect upon you and your vibration. Now, let's talk about the life force of the plants. Now, how this all began is that one day, someone, whomever that someone is, discovered that plants have, when you rub them, there can be a fluid on them. There can be sap that comes out. And they began to notice, and especially those at that time, they knew how to talk to the plants and receive information from the plants, which you can learn to do and discover how to do this yourself. And they found that there are several ways that you can use a plant. You can make tinctures of it. You can distill it into, I think the one who lives at this place where this one is, where she's house sitting, uses vodka to make tinctures of the herbs because that alcohol brings that goodness out of the plant. And then you can take drops of that, however many drops it is that you want. Well, that is one way of doing it. Infusion, which is a tea, is another way. Many of you have drunk herbal teas. And then there is the fluid, the quote-unquote blood of the plant, which contains its essence and not the distillation, the whole bringing together of the different aspects of that plant in a thick, concentrated way. That's why you only need a drop or 2 drops of an essential oil. Now, here are some things I want to tell you about it. Remember what I said about the vibration of blood you receive from someone if you receive a transfusion? The vibration of the plant from which that oil is made is also very important to you. So if you have an oil which is what they call wildcrafted, gathered up from out in the wild somewhere, it is a plant that is filled with the energy of life. It is a plant that has been in communication with all of the other plants and trees that have been there. It is strong, and it is at the fullness of its lifeblood, if you want to call it that way, the fullness of its vibration. Then you have plants which are farmed, correct? So they're grown. The vibration of that plant depends upon several things. One, the soil, of course, in which it is grown in. And when it is grown in a natural soil without chemicals, laboratory-made chemicals, it is going to be a stronger plant. If it is cultivated by people who care about the plant, who love the plant, take great pleasure in nurturing the life force of the plant, its vibration is even higher. So when you have a chance to choose an oil, you want to be sure that it is one, as much as you can assure that it isn't made with chemicals for fertilizers, that it doesn't have chemicals as carriers. Now, you could make an argument and say that the oil itself is a chemical, but it is not a chemical. Yes, you could divide it and isolate it into chemicals, just like you can isolate anything into chemicals, but it comes naturally from within itself. Now, just to be sure that your oil is at the highest vibration that it can be, and as of the vibration that works with your vibration, you take the oil in your hand and you bless it. You thank it for being there. And in fact, what you might want to enjoy doing is before you do that, take the cap off and smell it. And then bless it and then smell it again. And most people will discover that the scent has changed, the aroma has changed. In some oils it becomes lighter, in other oils it becomes deeper. Now, you take an oil. So this one was mentioning that she has been done muscle testing and gotten to use oregano on her body. So one of the things that she does is she blesses the oregano, thanks it for being there, and then she asked that the vibration of the oregano be matched with the healing properties needed for her own personal vibration. Because each one of you has a different vibration. Now, this is important. The oil has consciousness. It does not have will. It is just like your crystals. They have consciousness. They do not have will. They can't make the decision to move from here to here. They cannot make the decision that they're not going to work on you. That's not going to happen. But when you speak with them and communicate with them from your heart and ask that that oil's vibration be aligned to the vibration of the individual that will be using it, it will work much better on that person because we're talking about vibration. Now, you have high vibrations and you have low vibrations, right? All of you know when you're in low vibrations. You're in low vibrations when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're depressed, when you're jealous, when you're envious, when you're in anxiety. Those are all low vibration feelings. Now your oil has its vibration, and when you bless it, you bring it up and you ask it to come to the highest possible vibration it can come to. Now, if you're doing muscle testing and you have a bunch of oils in front of you, like this one does, I'll have her go get her oils later when she's working, and she can show you how she does this. But when you have a vibration, you're doing the muscle testing, your system, it's what I call the body soul, which is the soul of your body. You're not the soul of your body, you're the soul within your body. Your body soul will match your vibration with the oil that is needed. Because if you are at a very low vibration, your system will not be able to handle, in many cases, a very high vibration. Does that make sense? Think of it when those of you who live in cold country, and your hand is so cold and you put it in water, it almost feels like it's burning because the difference in temperature is so strong that it has an opposite feeling than what you were expecting, especially from those down in the areas where they don't live in cold country. So your vibration is the same thing. Think about it in music. I'm going to relate it to different things in regards to vibration. A person who is at a fairly low vibration and works mainly from the first chakra and the second chakra, they can't handle, and they will have no interest in, and they will think it's ridiculous to have music of a higher vibration. So those of you who listen to what is called New Age music, they wouldn't like that New Age music because it does not relate to their energy and their vibration. So when you are selecting an oil to use, you are selecting an oil that will be according to your vibration. So what will happen is, let's say that here's an oil of an extremely high vibration, and it can help to bring your vibration up, but what you really want is an oil which is not that different in vibration, but does cause you to come up in vibration. And the way you select that is with intention, being from your heart, communicating with the oil itself. If you're using the oil for yourself, you communicate with your body and what oil is best for you. If you are using the oil, say if you're a massage therapist or a healer of some kind, and you want to use an oil with someone else, you don't select the oil for your vibration, you select the oil for their vibration. But know, and this is a little tangent, I can go on these little tangents, know that when you are selecting an oil for someone else and you are holding the oil, your vibration interacts with that. Now, there is a tremendous blessing in that because your client came to you because your client chose you. Your client chose your vibration. And so when you hold the oil and you bring your vibration into it, it melds with the oil. And you still then ask for its vibration to align itself to the vibration needed for, and you name the client that you are using it for. Isn't that fun? Use that for yourself. So at one time you may pick up a blend, for instance, that a company has said, well, this is for balance, or this is for focus, or this will help you to forgive. Sometimes that blend will not work for you in that way because your vibration is in a different level. So you think, well, I'm going to use forgiveness or forgive, the oil blend for that. And you go, well, that doesn't seem to do anything. But then you go, oh, when I muscle test, I'm drawn to use frankincense, or I'm drawn to use sandalwood. And that's because that oil will match your vibration with your intention. So you set your intention of what it is you want to do. You want to let go of anger, for instance. And many times in order to let go of anger, you have to forgive. So you set your intention to let go of the anger. That's your intention. Muscle test or pendle or however it is that you do it, dowsing rods, it doesn't matter which, and ask which of these oils that I have, you can only use the oils you have, correct? Which of these oils that I have would be the best for me to release anger? And what you're releasing is the energy of anger. You are releasing the vibration of anger. So you are applying an oil with the intention. You've already formed your intention. That oil knows it. Remember, it has consciousness. That oil knows that your intention is to release the vibration of anger. Now, remember I said you might not want to use the blend that is called forgive or forgiveness, whatever the different companies have. But the oil that you choose, say it may be frankincense, and you use that. And then you ask, is there another oil that needs to join with this one? And you might get rose, for instance, that will come in. And you, let me finish the process first. And then you ask again, is there another oil? And until you get a no that there's not another oil, and then you go through each oil to find out how many drops, what's the ratio of drops, because you're matching vibrations. You don't have to know what the vibration is. When you are in your heart, you have set your intention and you have communicated with the oils. They will tell you what it is that you need. And then you ask, well, do I mix these up into a little, in the palm of my hand, a drop of this, 2 drops of this, a drop of this, or do I put it in what you call a carrier oil, mix it in with another oil? And that way you can discover what is best for you. Now, when you're doing this for you, I'm going to switch out of the client area right now and just talk about your own personal healing. Is that when you are doing this, what you may want to do is to choose I'm going to call it a constitutional blend. How's that? A constitutional blend. That's what they call it in homeopathy. So I'm going to borrow their term, a constitutional blend. And what you do is you set your intention for what it is you want to heal or to balance within you. Maybe it is forgiveness. Maybe it is anger at your father or anger at your brother. Or maybe it is disappointment that you did not achieve the degree that you wanted or were able to work in the field that you wanted. You set your intention that you want to have a blend that you can use that will assist you. You take the oils in hand, or if you are looking at a website, say of a particular company, you're looking at a website and you're saying, guide and direct me to which oils I need to purchase at this time. So I can tell you what this one would do is she'd sit there with her little box, and that's how she would choose from what she has. And then you just choose and you communicate each time to the oil. I would like to add you to frankincense because it's already been chosen. Will you work with the vibration of frankincense? And they will say yes, they will work with it if you've already chosen it. Some of them will say no, that not at this time, because bringing all of these different vibrations together may not be the best for you. So the use of an oil, and very few people do it this way. Many of them know about how to pendle or to do muscle testing, but they aren't aware of the consciousness of the oil itself. They're aware that they can choose from their body, but when you come together and communicate with this amazing substance, then you're going to have much greater benefits for yourself. Now, I want to talk about, people will say, I'm an allergic to an oil. I can't handle any scents. Not S-E-N-S-E, you know, S-C-E-N-T-S. I can't handle those scents to be able to do that. So we'll change it to aromas. So let me talk about that a bit. First of all, know that that is something that they have, that it is a belief within them. Now, you may know this, but you may not know this. Allergies are emotional in nature. Now think about that. Allergies are emotional in nature. They're energetic in nature. Now that allergy can come from an emotional reaction that happened to you when you were very young or when you were very old. It doesn't matter. It could be an emotional reaction from your mother when she carried you in the womb and transmitted to you. It could also be an emotional reaction to something that came from another lifetime to you. And it can be something that is an emotional reaction that occurred to an ancestor, that emotion was passed down through the DNA. So when you have a sensitivity, which we're going to call an allergy, know that that is a sign of an emotional wound somewhere in your family, within you, within your soul progression that needs healing. If you would consider every allergy, be it to an oil, to a perfume, be it to a food, if you would consider any allergy that comes up to you as being a sign for healing, then you have made a tremendous progression in your development. Of course, once it's the sign for healing, then you need to go out and find the way to heal it, correct? And there are simple ways to do it, and there are complex ways to do it. So that's what I want to say to you about sensitivities. Now, you can ask for oils. So let's say you're sensitive to rose, for instance. You can ask your oils, is there a combination, an oil or a combination of oils that could come together with your intention to help release that energy of sensitivity, that energy of allergy. You could do this with strawberries. You could do this with blueberries. Do you know you could even do it with people? Have you ever thought of having an allergy to people? People that you don't want to be with, people that seem to get you all upset in a way, you have an allergy to them. You can do something similar with oils. So I think that's what I would like to tell you about that. Know that the use of oils is very powerful. Know that the oils have consciousness. And when you connect your consciousness with their consciousness, you can align your vibration with the vibration of the oils that you need. So before we started the recording, we were talking about heart issues, for instance, which, by the way, you can't talk about, with the the government, but I'm not going to say anything the government wouldn't like here. When you talk about heart issues, is that that is a vibration within you. And a heart issue is a wound that is within you. And so when you are choosing an oil for a wound, for a heart issue, you are choosing an oil for a wound. Now, most people don't realize that that is a wound that is involved. So because you do, you choose the oil for the wound and then for the issue, and then you know it's a wound, and then you go and ask, how can I heal this wound? So then the oil and the action you take act together to bring strength and healing to the wound. Pretty good, don't you think? So that is what I would like to say to you. If you currently use oils, be sure and bless them. Some of the oils you get that they sell in drugstores and even some of your food stores, even those that you think highly of, unfortunately have been tested to not have much of the oil itself, but to have a lot of chemicals. So you want to be sure that you get oils that are as pure as possible. That does not mean that you have to get oils from some big name brand thing. There are people who distill their own oils, and you may find those small, when I say small, I'm talking about small business-wise, carriers who do that. You may be distilling your own oils yourself and have great fun with it. So essential oils are a tremendous adjunct to your own healing, emotional and physical and spiritual. Now I'm really going to end. Many blessings to you, dear ones. Great. I hope you enjoyed that information from Amma, and I think that she's going to give us more information over time. As I was talking to people before they came on, I've become aligned with the doTERRA line. And so if you don't have a line you already work with and you're interested in that, I'd love it if you'd contact me and we can work together. Now, I'm going to turn you over to Fatima. Say hi, Fatima. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. There you are, and now you're showing up. Okay. Now, Fatima is also with doTERRA, but she is going to talk about the general properties of certain oils. These apply to anybody's oils, and then she's also going to talk a little bit about doTERRA. So go ahead, Fatima, your turn.
Okay, hi.
And I'm going to mute myself, by the way.
Okay, let me know if you can see me okay, because I know it's going in and out, but we'll try our best. Thanks, Kathy, by the way, for this opportunity again. We did a webinar last month, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad to be doing this. So a little bit about me. I'm a freelance writer by background and just moved from the Washington, D.C. area to Dallas. Absolutely love natural medicine, vibrational medicine, and have grown up with several herbalists in the family. However, a few years ago, my children experienced some health issues, and I went searching for even more answers. And I found that essential oils suddenly became a weapon in my toolbox, and I was very happy because it worked really well. And since then, I've been teaching educational classes about oils. So what are oils? As Kathy's already said, they're kind of like nature's defense mechanism. They're pure extracts from plants. They're highly concentrated, almost 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. Not all oils are created equally, and I think that's really something very important, that if you take away anything from me, that's what you would learn. One of the reasons I chose doTERRA is because it sources its oils from all over the world, so that each oil is derived from its indigenous environment. Whenever they're grown, wherever they're harvested in the proper altitude, climate, season, soil, rainfall, and so you end up with a far superior product. The second main reason I chose them is because they're CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. This is really important because each oil has 0 fillers and chemicals, synthetics, and dyes. And doTERRA created this standard as a promise of purity. And each and every batch is third-party tested with some 9 different kinds of tests that I can't even pronounce, so that you can be confident of its purity. Lavender, for example, comes from France. Frankincense comes from Oman and Somalia. Ylang ylang, which is really good for the heart, comes from Madagascar. Vetiver comes from Haiti. And I'll give you a little example. 70% of the United States lemons come from Florida. And they're good lemons, they're cheap, they're good lemons. But doTERRA will go to a 4th generation farmer in Italy who has the right soil, climate, rainfall to grow those lemons. And he also has generations worth of wisdom that's passed on from father to son, grandfather to father to son, which I think is really important. So that's just a little bit about the oils. And since we talked about sensitivities and allergies, I wanted to specifically talk about the trio of lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And reason being is that these oils individually and together really help to assist the immune system with fighting seasonal threats. So I'm going to go over each oil very briefly. And then if we get a moment, I'll talk a little bit about sensitivities and chemical reactions to these substances, to the compounds in the oils. Let me get a bottle of lavender. Hopefully you can see it okay. This is lavender. We all know lavender is for promoting relaxation and helping with sleep. I really like to use a drop on my pillow. There was a baby in the airplane who was crying nonstop, and the mom who uses these oils simply let her sniff the lavender on her hands and just smell it and calmed the baby. It was very beautiful. Sometimes you can pair lavender with cedarwood if your goal is a restful night's sleep. Sometimes you can use lavender to help with burns. You can help it to promote just feelings of calmness. It will help with skin irritations coming from bee stings and bug bites. And it's really good for hair growth and for stimulating those hair follicles. And like Kathy said, a lot of people use lavender. They'll pick it up from the drugstore or a health food store, not realizing that those oils may possibly have fillers. I used to get headaches anytime I was around lavender. And I thought I was allergic to lavender. And it was only when I found these oils that I realized I was really allergic to synthetic lavender. That's what I was reacting with. Once I got my hands on therapeutic grade oils, I did not have that reaction. So I was very thankful. I'm going to go on to talk about peppermint. Peppermint here, there you go, is very potent. 1 drop of the peppermint oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. And the essential oil, like Amma said, comes from the entire plant. It's from the bark, the flowers, the stems, the roots, the leaves. The immune system of the plant's role is to protect the plant from bacteria and fungus, to deter insects, to slow the decay of the plant. It's so much like the immune system of humans. So when we ingest these vibrational substances, it raises our vibration, boosts our immune system. However, because these oils are so powerful, we have to treat them with a lot of care and education. So what does peppermint do? Peppermint helps with head tension, helps to cool the body when it's overheated, helps to calm like stomach disturbances and aids in digestive issues. I drink it every day in my water for energy. It's a great pick-me-up in the afternoon with some wild orange or with some frankincense. I add a drop to my brownies when I bake, and sometimes I combine peppermint and clove in a spray bottle, and if I have an outbreak of ants or spiders or bugs, I use it on that just to get a natural insect repellent, being of use in my home, especially around my small children. Lastly in that trio is lemon. And here you go. And these are sourced from Italy. And I can't say enough about lemon. I drink it every morning in my water. 1 drop of the lemon is equal to 5 lemons. So the rind, the peel, the juice, everything. A lot of folks will squeeze fresh lemon juice in their water every morning, and that's great. But so much nutrition is located in the peels of these citrus fruits. And what do we do with our peels? We throw them away. So I love the fact that the essential oil, again, comprises the entire fruit, the entire plant. It's a great cleaner. You can add 10 drops of lemon to a plastic water spray bottle and clean your countertops. It's great for scruff marks on the wall to, take it off the wall. I don't know if you guys have seen these wool dryer balls. I just got them off of Amazon. It's called Sheep Smart. And I will put 10 drops of lemon on these and throw it in my dryer. And because I want to get rid of those very toxic dryer sheets that I used to use. And the laundry comes out smelling really nice. So it's a great detoxifier. My only warning to you is not to use citrus oils and then go out in direct sun or go out on a tanning bed. Grapefruit, tangerine, orange, lemon, these citrus fruits, because they're highly photosensitive and they will, be able to burn your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin. Toxicity is a big thing these days. I heard somewhere that before a woman goes out in the morning, in between her shampoo and conditioner and moisturizer and makeup and God knows what, she's got hundreds of chemicals on her face. And a lot of these chemicals have plastic constituents in them. And plastics stay stored, especially in lymph tissue. So lemon is a great detoxifier. When you take lemon internally, it binds to the toxins and pulls them out. And I want to do a quick experiment. This is just a plain styrofoam cup, okay? And I'm going to add 1 drop of lemon on it, just 1 drop. And then I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Have you all heard of Sheryl Crow, the pop singer, folk singer? A few years ago, she had her tissues sampled during a health challenge, and it had plastic constituents in it. And so, again, it's very prevalent all over. The trio of lemon, lavender, peppermint is very helpful to assist your immune system to fight seasonal threats, seasonal discomfort, respiratory threats. You can put 2 drops of lemon, lavender, peppermint right on your skin, on your wrists. You can put 2 drops of lemon, lavender, peppermint in a glass of water if you like the taste. You could roll it in a roller bottle, one of these bottles, and fill it up with a carrier oil of your choice and roll it up and down your spine, which I really like spinal delivery of oils. Or you could put it in an empty gel cap, these just plain old vegetable capsules you can get from any store. That's another way to take this lemon, lavender, peppermint. And if you are not wanting to do any of that, you can just get it in a soft gel, which is very portable. And I like putting that in my purse because, like Kathy said, sometimes I'll go someplace and suddenly start having a sensitivity to something and not know what it is that I'm sensitive to. So it's nice to have it around. I want to read you a quote from a conference I went to. It's just a loose quote about sensitivities. So there is a difference between an allergic response and a sensitivity response. truly pure essential oils do not contain the allergens necessary to elicit a true allergic response. However, we do see sensitivities. They are a chemical reaction within the body. They act as an irritant on the system, whereas an allergic response is more of an immune response. These reactions are usually based on our toxic load, spiritual, emotional, psychological, physical. We also have conditioned responses. Our bodies have muscle memory. Synthetic fragrances are toxic, and many of us are allergic to them. So if a person is allergic to a synthetic, let's say eucalyptus, the body responds in a certain way to that aroma and will respond to it every time that aroma comes around, sometimes even in progressively more violent episodes. In this way, the body becomes conditioned to respond to the eucalyptus. And what's interesting, in the conference, they were talking about overcoming these conditioned responses. And one pretty harmless way of approaching this is to take a cotton ball and add a drop of that oil that you think you're sensitive to and put it in your shoe. Do this every day for a month. And I've heard that people have really good success with this. Another thing that you can do to help minimize that sensitivity is to reduce the amount of essential oil that you're using. Be less aggressive. In some cases, you might not be able to use the oils you have the sensitivity to, but use another oil that has a similar effect. You can support the body in your detoxification process. There's a detoxification blend, there's a metabolic blend. All these things help to eliminate the toxicity in the body. So I thought that was interesting. We learned that from the conference. Quickly, the 3 ways to use these essential oils, which I've already mentioned, is number 1, you can put it directly on the skin. So if you were to put the lemon, lavender, peppermint directly on, it would absorb into your bloodstream in about 30 minutes. With children and with elderly people or with anybody with a skin sensitivity, it's really important to dilute those oils with some coconut oil or olive oil, because you just don't know how somebody will react to the potency of these oils. The bottoms of the feet are a great place to apply the oils, as it's the most porous section of the skin, and it allows for quick absorption. And then, like I mentioned, on my children, I like a spinal delivery. I just put the oils in a roller bottle and roll it up and down the spine almost every night, depending on what's going on. The second way you can use these oils is just to inhale them. Put some drops in your hand and deep breaths and get it into your lungs. Or you could use a oil grade diffuser, which diffuses the oil into the air and breaks up the oil into really tiny microparticles, and they fall back onto your skin, and you also inhale them. So it's a really cost-effective way of treating a whole room when you use a diffuser with these oils, as opposed to putting it on individually to everybody. And then, of course, internally. doTERRA is the only brand of oil I use, because I had to use these oils on my small children, and after doing a lot of research, that was the only oil I would use for them to drink. There are several essential oil companies that have been approved for FDA approval for internal consumption. Just make sure you look at your bottles wherever you get them from. Make sure it says safe for internal use. Just be an educated consumer and be really careful. I think that really that's about all I wanted to talk about. I do feel like just diffusing the different oils, putting them on topically, smelling them, it changes our brain chemistry. And there's hundreds of studies now to show how this changes the brain chemistry. And I love what Amma just said about oils having consciousness, because truly, you know, when you put an oil on, sometimes it's a mood shifter. It's a game changer sometimes in your day. And I feel like that consciousness is being brought to you, and it's such a gift. So thank you so much for letting me explain a little bit about lemon, lavender, and peppermint.
Thank you, Fatima. We have a question for sure. Carolyn, do you want to unmute yourself and ask a question yourself, or you want me to ask it?
Is it on the chat?
Yeah, well, it is, but she just unmuted. She'll ask it.
Okay.
Do you have a specific blend in mind, or one that other people use in order to spray around the house in order to cleanse the apartment instead of burning sage?
Oh yeah. I use On Guard. It is a doTERRA blend, and it has cinnamon, clove, orange, and like 3 other oils. And clove is great for cleansing, whether it's cleansing the body or cleansing the house. It's very high in antioxidants, and combine that with cinnamon and orange and some of these other citrus oils, and you can put that in a spray bottle, or doTERRA sells On Guard cleaner, where you only have to use 2 tablespoons of the cleaner in an entire spray bottle and spray everything. It's very good for cleansing.
Okay, I also mean, when I say cleansing, I also mean not necessarily cleansing and detoxifying, but to rid anything and basically to protect the home.
Right.
From unwanted activities.
Sure, I understand. Frankincense is used as a protection oil by some people.
Okay.
It's been used by, for thousands of years in prayer spaces to protect the space before a ceremony. So I would use frankincense as that kind of clearing the toxicity in the air, or cleaning the toxicity of the house, or cleaning the toxicity of a person. The other really good oil for that is basil.
Oh.
So some people apply basil right on top of their liver to detoxify the liver. Some people use basil in their house to detoxify their house from people. So it's an interesting dynamic that goes on with basil.
Before I let you go, I have something else. My sister does hand massage with the essential oils,
Mm-hmm.
like a reflexology that you do in your feet, she does on your hands.
Uh-huh.
And that is just awesome. It's just, it almost takes you right out of your body. It's so great.
There's a couple of oils that we use on a hand technique. It's called Aroma Touch. And you activate the different reflexology points in your hands and your feet. And it's a blend. And another really nice oil is Balance. It's very grounding. And I think that's why it's so well received by massage therapists and healers.
Get it, Carolyn?
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful.
Annie, I'm going to unmute you. Would you share what you were talking about before about how you use bergamot?
Certainly, Kathy. And I got this off a natural house cleaning program on the internet. But I use 2 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, 35 drops of bergamot. I shake it together in a spray bottle, and then I spray it on my stove and my fridge, and I clean them. And they'll just come up spotless, and they stay cleaner longer. And it smells lovely as well. I love bergamot. I have it outside in my garden as well.
Thank you so much. I'm going to mute you again. Is there anybody, well, some of you are on the phone, so if you have questions, you might not be able to ask. So I'm going to unmute everybody, but if you don't have a question, would you please mute yourself? Okay, everybody's unmuted. Does anybody else have a question for Fatima, or for me, I can ask Amma something?
Kathy, it's Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. I just wanted to just add an experience to the story. The first time I ordered oils, one of the oils that I ordered was frankincense. And I was very excited to get it. And when I got it and I opened it and I smelled it, it was like, oh God, this is horrible. And I put the lid on and I rolled that bottle between my hands. I don't know why. And I felt that oil vibe me. And then I opened the lid and smelled it and I loved it. It was amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. That
Very powerful.
kind of affirms what Amma was saying, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Can I show if you can see what the lemon has done to the styrofoam? That one drop. Can you see that?
Move it back just a little bit. All right, speak again so your face is up here.
So the lemon, the one drop of lemon is eating the styrofoam cup. So this is just an example of the toxins that we ingest in our body, and when we take the lemon, how we are able to detoxify. So I find this to be very powerful. I hope you can see it.
Yes.
Can you use them on pets?
You can use certain essential oils on pets. Some pets don't metabolize certain oils, and so there are certain protocols to go for different conditions for pets, but yes, in general.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, so I'm just going to do my own personal plug that if you don't have somebody already you're getting oils from and you would like to, feel free to choose me. Just let me know.
And there's some great specials going on this month before the end of the month, so it's a good opportunity.
That's good. So now I'm going to ask Amma to keep giving us some information at different times, so we'll see what she does for next month. If you have any specific messages about, questions about oils in general that you would like to ask her, just go ahead and send me an email and let's see what she comes up with. Okay?
Okay, what about the last call? Is that still available to listen to that you guys had referenced before?
Yeah, maybe. Let me see. I'll put this one on. It's actually on a YouTube video. Did I put it on a site? Let me see if I can get them both together. How's that sound?
Great. Thank you so much.
All righty. Y'all take care. Blessings to you.